Parallel People, Chapter 9, Everybody Plays the Fool. I was still in a state of shock that Cupid chose me, but I ultimately accepted it, as he was my family, and also a family of socialists, who just so happened to be sentient cats. Ha! What you thinking about, Dad? It only hit me then that we were already at the Cessna, as I was entirely lost in thought. Just about this heaven and you, stupid. He smiled. Yeah, I know, like father, like son, right? I rolled my eyes as I opened the jet's door and extended my arm so we could hop aboard. Thank you, Dad. I nodded and then had a funny idea and thought, what's catnip like? He looked at me and smiled. It's just like weed, but for cats. Why, are you saying you want to get high with your son? My, oh my, you're an awful influence. Oh, okay, that's how we're going to play it. No, I was just checking. He frowned. Asshole. And then once I couldn't contain, I just burst out laughing. Of course I want to get high with my son. I want to see if you're a lightweight. He bit my finger. Oh, it's so on, old man. Yes, it was. And with that, I started my pre-flight checks, and everything was a go. Comrade Charlton, this is Whiskey Bravo Tenor requesting permission to take off. The Siamese then spoke through the radio. Whiskey Bravo Tenor, this is Comrade Charlton. That's an all-go on your end. Have a safe flight, and we'll see you soon. And with that, I slowly rolled the jet onto the runway. Ready, kiddo? His tail was whipping, so I took that as a yes. And we jettisoned down the runway and took off and flew into the clear sky. And once my altimeter said that we were at 5,000 feet, I felt comfortable enough to jump realities. The UV beam fired and the membrane lit up. And the portal once again opened up and then the controls died, yet we continued to fly. Okay, good. So that truly was normal. Now time for the fun. Okay, so I don't feel like smoking a blunt or anything like that, but I do have a dab pen of the highest quality kush, and I have your 10-pound bag of catnip. I made sure to grab it as for when you wanted to indulge yourself. His eyes dilated back and forth, and he started chittering. Sorry, Dad, force of habit. Forgot that you can't understand that, but fucking hell, you really do spoil me. Also, I do want to try weed eventually, but not between realities. Smart-ish. Fair enough. Let's get high. And I unzipped the Ziploc bag of catnip. Yum, it smells so good. Now I understand why humans indulge in the finer things in life. That we did. It's also a form of self-medication for my underlying depression. I've always had it for as long as I can remember. Cupid then put his hand on my paw. I didn't know that, Dad. Is that what those pills were for? I just simply nodded. Yeah, mental health's a bitch. He looked deep in contemplation. What's anxiety like? Good question. It's like knowing you'll be okay, but you're worried anyway, even if it doesn't make sense. It's just a feeling / emotional state you can't shake. Cupid's question prompted me to think. Why, do you think you may be anxious? He shrugged, yet we both knew the answer, and I gave him that look, like when he knocked over my bookshelf. Okay, fine, I think so. I'm pretty sure it started when I didn't get along with my siblings and Sandy kicked me out. Would you call it a type of coping mechanism? Some would. Yes and no. Depends on the context. Only you can truly answer that. He nodded. Okay, well, I appreciate it, Dad. You literally always know what to say, and I mean that. No sass. I gave him a few pets behind his ears. So do you, son. Now, I don't know about you, but I need to smoke a bit. And I'm glad you didn't tell your mom about my habits. He smiled slyly. I think she was smart enough to know by your demeanor and fashionable stoner style. Yeah, he's probably right. Yeah, moms always know. That they did, and I put a sprinkle of catnip into my palm. Go wild, kiddo. He did. He sniffed the catnip, and after all that, he licked my palm to get the rest of it. All while that happened, I took a fat rip from my dab pen. Then something strange happened. The void started to melt, and it even changed colors like a psychedelic trip. Whoa, man, I'm high. What about you, Dad? Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, Cupid, I'm tripping, like harder than ever. You? He nodded, and I looked at him. He was different. He was a human? And he looked like a teenage version of me. It was uncanny. He even was wearing my style of clothes. Hey, Cupid, is it just me, or are you human? He then looked at himself in the cockpit window, and he looked at his hands. Yeah, what the fuck? Okay, so it wasn't just me. Okay, another thing to note. Maybe don't smoke or use drugs in the void. He then stared at me with very red eyes. Ha! You could say that. Is this permanent, or... Anything was possible, and I shrugged. Okay, so now my cat is a human teenager. Okay, so wow. Also, what the hell? My back doesn't hurt anymore. Cupid looked at me wide-eyed. Dad, you're a teen again. I looked at my own reflection and, oh, okay. So drugs, or specifically weed and catnip, alters chemistry and biology, but only in the reality of the between. And again, speaking of reality, the controls started to beep, beep, beep again. Okay, kiddo, get ready for another unique universe. He sat back in the seat with a relaxed nonchalance. Even as a human, he was still the same. Okay, Dad, let's see where we end up. Stay tuned for the next part, Victorian Secrets. Bye, love y'all.